Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Keep It Real Conversation Show with your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. It is Thursday, September 7th, 2023. We're almost close to the end of the year, which is crazy. Um, we are, of course, in the land of the living, so we're excited about that. I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're literally one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. Been proven over and over again since I started this show 3 years ago. As I stated, I have some of the dopest guests that come on every week, and tonight is no different than any other time. So we're going to get in her wonderful bio, and then we're going to have this wonderful conversation tonight. I am super curious, so I want to know. Lateka,
Yes.
highly resilient and passionate. And we're going to get into all of that tonight.
All of it's a lot.
Classic coach, yes, she is a spearheading woman who has demonstrated that even when you are dealt a poor hand of cards, you can still win the game. As a proud author of several books, the CEO and founder basically rebranded herself or rediscovered her brand. Lateka leverages her dark past and experiences involving domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, while living with PTSD, MST, anxiety, fibromyalgia, and how do you say the other one?
Endometriosis.
To empower others on their journey towards healing and living the fulfilled, quality-driven life that they deserve. Fast forward to today, she has written 4 books while working on a few more. Started several new businesses and openly raises awareness on domestic violence, as we stated before, narcissistic abuse, military sexual trauma, and mental illness. As a person who dealt with this particular disease, pains for over 15 years plus, we're going to hear her story tonight. Whether it be through her publications or her business, nothing makes Lateka happier than using her story to build others, to build them up and help them thrive. She has a genuine attitude for what she does. She developed her businesses on the foundation of authenticity, integrity and trust, and is devoted to instilling positive change. Just by what I've read so far, this is an awesome cause that everybody is not able to carry. So again, we're going to get into this wonderful conversation with her of dealing with pain, both physical as well as mental. And I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Overall, Lateka believes that everyone deserves happiness. Amen. And sometimes those debilitating, heartbreaking experiences in life are the very stepping stones that can lead you down a path to something quite beautiful. So tonight, you guys, I want you to welcome Lateka Starnes-Council to the show. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. That's one hell of a bio I have. I need to chop it down.
Listen, it was a mouthful, but I got through it. And that's the good part. We have a lot to dive into. Good evening, main event. And everyone that's coming in, please like, share, subscribe. Of course, we are live on Facebook. We are live on the YouTube channel. We are live on Twitch and Twitter. Please let somebody know that we are live right now. I'm going to start the conversation off with Thank God we don't look like what we've been through.
Oh, I know, cause boy. Whew.
Um, that in itself can preach its own sermon. And for those who have gone through drama and trauma in your life, it's good to see someone who made it through, who's making it through.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but a turn around and help someone else get through. This is what we're here. This is what we stand on. This is what we believe in. And I'm interested to know how you made it. So let's go back to who is Lateka?
Oh, who am I? Shit. I'm pretty much a mother, a wife, sister. Outside of everything that I do, I'm an author, esthetician, phlebotomist, body contour specialist. I'm well rounded. But most of all, I'm more nurturing, caring, kind-hearted, and loving. So for me, I'm just like I tell people, I'm a hermit. I don't come outside. So if you see me, you see me. You don't, you don't. It's like, like the groundhog. I might see my shadow, I might not. So it's really, I'm just well rounded. Or most so I'm just loving, caring, nurturing.
So I was looking up this term, the Clatchit coach. I've never heard that word before. So what exactly is that?
Okay, so Clatchit Coach is when I first wrote my first 4 books. I wrote my books based off of, like, let me appease the people to where it's really not me. I am a Navy veteran, so I'm all the way a sailor, so I curse. So Clatchit came in because I'm classy and I'm ratchet. So those colors intertwined will be pink and black. So for me, the Clatchit, the classy is pink. So when you see me professionally, I'm more on that classy side. But then when you see me in my black, shit can get real ratchet and we can take it there. That is where Clatchit came from. And then with coach is because I'm a life enhancement coach. I don't like the word life coach because your life is not my life. So I believe in life enhancement. Let me help enhance your life. Let me help you build from where you are and carry you further. So I'm a life enhancement coach. So that's where Clatchit Coach came from.
Absolutely. So how many years did you serve in the Navy?
I served 8 years active duty in the Navy, a year in the Army National Guard, and a year in the Army Reserve.
Okay. So going back to um, what was Latika like growing up? Like, did you see yourself in this position now?
This
What
position, no. Growing up, my dad was in the Army, so I was an Army rat. I wanted to join the Army. My dad was like, no. Once my dad was in the Army, I was like, I'm going in the military to, follow in my father's footsteps. And he's who told me not to join the Army, do something different. So I picked the Navy, knowing, one, I cannot swim. Two, I have a fear of water. Um, Growing up, it was more so we traveled different states, me and my sister. Then it's like 4 of us, but we traveled different states. And South Carolina is home, but we never really lived here until I say like going into the 10th grade. Any other time we had to be here to be like a year and a half, then we gone, and it's like come in, gone. But we weren't steady here until about 95, 96. Then I graduated high school in 98 and I left and joined the Navy.
So how was that growing up in a service life? Because I hear some people liked the travel of it, and then there's people who didn't like because they could never get stable, like they were always gone. So it was hard to keep friends or that
I
type of.
don't have friends. So that to me is a hard thing for me as an adult because I live the gypsy life, because I call it a gypsy life. We're gone every 18 months to 2 years. So I never really made friends. So I got used to being close knit with my sisters. My sisters are my friends. Outside of that, other than my best friend Artrell, I don't really, and Angel, I don't really have friends. Um, so as I grew up joining the Navy, I'm gone. I'm not in. I'm always, I took sea life, so I like being out to sea. So it's like I had a child, I'm out to sea. Had a child out to sea. Had a child out to sea. So I stayed gone. In adulthood, moving, I would literally be in Sumter and live in a house for about a year and a half. I gotta move. I just moved throughout the city. When I bought my house in 2019, this has been the longest that I've been in a stable, and when I say stable, as in long term, at one address. So it has it. The travel was lovely because I lived in Hawaii as a child, and that was in the 80s when everything was better. So travel I loved, but friendships I don't really didn't have that then.
Okay. Um, so being at, and I had a nephew, he's now deceased, but he was in the Navy, and I had a cousin that actually just retired last year from the Navy. And the way they would describe the sea life and the sky itself, like you can't imagine, seeing the skies without the smog and the fog and all these different things. Like you really get to see
The world.
the world. And to be able to go to like Israel on somebody else's dime, go to these different places that you probably would never even hear of nor go. What was the thing about the Navy that you loved the most other than travel?
That is where I made friends. My Navy family, and that's what they are to me. My Navy family, we can go years without talking to each other, but as soon as we get on the phone or we get in the same area, we pick up like nothing ever happened. So like we are like, I love that camaraderie. I love the bond we have. It's nothing changed within us from us knowing each other then to us now. I love the bond with everyone I served with.
Absolutely. Um, so that was what, two terms, or is that just the one with the 8 years?
I think I reenlisted. No, I reenlisted 3.
Okay. Um, so from that point of finding yourself doing these things in the service, what was life after being in the military?
God, life after the military, life in the military is where things start going ratchet. That was more military. To be honest, it was me being 18, leaving home. So it was me being my own adult, and I had to find my way. There's a lot of things I did during my military service that was illegal that I shouldn't have been doing, but I did it more so. Can't nobody tell me what to do in the adrenaline. During the military time is when I got raped. That's when I found out I had endometriosis and fibromyalgia. My children came in the military, and I got diagnosed with postpartum depression during the military. Getting out of the military is when I got married my second time, and my second marriage was domestic violence. My first marriage was a marriage, not like nothing was wrong with him. It was I didn't get married for the right reason. So when it got a little rocky, I was just like, okay, whatever, I'm out. I didn't fight for my first marriage. It was one of those, I got married for the thoughts of being married, not the meaning of marriage. My second marriage came a little after, and I say that is more so when I suppressed my initial trauma, my rape, is when all of that, came back to the forefront after. I enjoyed life after the military until all of that within my marriage. And I say from there on, it's like that domino effect. When you don't deal with the first trauma, it's just like a whole domino effect that comes after it.
So let's go back, if you can, because we have had several rape victims that have been guests, even for myself being a rape victim. Were you able? Okay, let's go processes in your mind. Were you able to discuss what happened, or were you so traumatized by it that you kept it a secret?
No, I actually reported it, and my chain of command told me his career was worth more than my reputation. So it got reported, and that was just what it was. It was told, and they sent me to another department, and he served until he got kicked out for doing the same thing later in life.
Wait. Okay, let me
So now you got to process that. Yeah.
Wait, let's go back because I don't think they heard you.
Yeah, it was. I reported it. You know, when you're in the military, you have your chain of command. So I told it to two male counterparts that were like my best friend that took me under their wing. They were ready to go kick his ass. I was like, no, let me report to the chain of command. Told the chain of command. Chain of command told me his career was more important than my reputation. And then he sent me to another department to finish my deployment. So we were out to sea when this happened. So they just removed me from the environment as a way to out of sight, out of mind type thing. So it was reported. But from that, when that happened, I never discussed it again. I didn't bring it up. I didn't seek any help. I didn't do anything after I did that initial report. I didn't go any further with it. Once they said that, I was just like, okay, whatever.
So how
I lost trust in men. I lost trust in authority. My whole mentality and attitudes towards a lot of people within my department was like, yeah, fuck you. I'm really not listening. And it kind of showed because I really started to rebel and it really showed on my attitude.
that was going to be my next question because at the end of the day, which is crazy because you're fighting for the country for freedom and equality and all this wonderful stuff, and yet and still in this where I'm supposed to be safe and we're supposed to be on the same team, here I am getting raped and I do what I'm supposed to do, but nothing is done.
Yeah.
So did you ever see your person again who
I
did
had
this?
to. Same department. I basically worked for him.
What the?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to need you to process that. Yeah. Yeah. So technically, yeah. So once the deployment was over and I had to go back to my department, we were in the same department. So I technically worked for him. Up until I got pregnant with my second daughter. So me getting pregnant with my second daughter is what took me away from that environment and took me off the ship. Up until me getting pregnant with my second daughter, no, I had to see him every morning when we came to work and every night when it was time for us to leave. Yeah, and throughout the day. Yeah, I saw him.
Okay. Um, so let's go and, as my show says, let's keep it real. So what was it that stopped you from killing him?
I had a daughter. And me going, I just had my first daughter in 2000, and I never forget my dad because I got my orders because I wanted to go back to the ship because it's like me and a few more girls got pregnant around the same time frame. Like I told you, that camaraderie. It was four of us, and I ended up getting pregnant last. And the four of us made a dumbass pact, like, oh, we got to finish our first deployment together after we have our kids. Let's go back to the same ship. Three of the four of us went back, and of course, I was the last one. And my dad told me because I had to fly to I had to fly to Bahrain to meet my ship, and I just had my daughter, and she was 3 months old. And my dad told me this will determine if I make it or break it, whether I focus on the mission or I get distracted and worry about what's at home that I can't control. So when I went, I remember those words because it was hard for me to leave my baby. I was breastfeeding a new mom, and I'm missing first everything. So that happened to me. It kind of set me back to I don't want to do this, but then it's like, okay, I got to do mind over matter, which is a shitty metaphor, but it was mind over matter because bigger, I have a daughter. So that is what literally kept me off his ass.
So your first daughter is not his, right?
None of my kids are. No, yeah, I've already had my child.
Whew, girl.
Oh, we will. That's a different topic, but yeah. No,
Okay. So there was
it's hard for you to process. I see.
um
He eventually got kicked out for doing the same thing. I want to say like not even a complete year later. But she ended up pregnant.
Okay. Um, so you're seeing every day the person who took everything from you. Like, and I can't kill you. You're in my face. And it's not that people don't believe you. It's at the point where
The climate was different, like not making excuses for it. It's like I tell people, I was in the Navy from 98 to '06. So I was in the military when it was still don't ask, don't tell. And
okay.
it was still an all boys club to where, yeah, females are here, but it's an all boys club. And that's literally how they played it. To where the whole, when they tell you military, not just Navy, but military was big on sexual harassment, sexual jokes. When I say anything of the sexual nature, I experienced at 18. So that is where, as I transitioned into an adult, I started hiding my body. So it'd be like, for people who knew me, I went from wearing shorts, crop tops, and all that to wearing my uniform bigger than you couldn't see my shape. My regular clothes, you really couldn't see what I had as far as shape or anything. I literally just closed in because it was like you getting sexually harassed, you got sexual jokes, you just getting touched. Then I just got raped. It's just like boom, everything on top. Yeah, no. I think now on my rediscover her journey. If you look through my pictures, you'll see where I used to just take pictures in my car to where I never did full body pictures. Now you see a whole different in transition. So like now I am completely on my own personal healing journey. And I am now in phase 5 of acceptance. Like I was telling Trail, I'm like, I don't like it here in the acceptance because I feel emotional and I feel vulnerable. And I feel not so much as weak, but I feel weak to where I don't like it. But I told myself I've tried to heal in the past, but I never addressed everything properly. Now I'm at the phase, so I got to target the rate and I got to allow myself to express every emotion and feeling that comes with it on this journey till I get to where I am today. I don't like the acceptance phase at all. I'm extremely emotional. I wake up some days smiling like a chesty cat. Other days it's like my mind is a million places racing. But what I did do was I put myself back in therapy and I go to therapy twice a week versus twice a month because I'm really at the point where I need to heal and I need personal closure. And I don't want to be in survival mode and I don't want to be in my masculine energy. I like where I am in my feminine energy. I like it over here. I like it where this is at. And that is why I'm going to see this journey through. That is what made me rebrand and restructure all of my businesses.
Honey. Um, and the good thing is here we are very transparent, we're very open, honest, because we don't understand that we're more alike than we are different, but you'll never know that until we
And so
talk.
you exact, and that's where I am now because I used to be real closed in about talking about domestic violence. I will literally just say I'm a domestic violence survivor, and that's it. Don't ask me no question. Boom, you see it, go over. I'm a military sexual trauma survivor. Okay, you see it, move over. Now I'm like, no, because I volunteered to YWCA Upper Lowlands here in Sumter, South Carolina, and I used to be like heavy into it as an advocate, but it started bothering me personally, so I stepped away. But I'm seeing as me being a school teacher also, times are shifting. We got young girls in middle school in domestic violence or intimate partnership relationships. So we're like, nah, that's not cool. If nobody's going to talk to you about it, you're not going to know. And I'm like, I'm in that middle age realm to where I can deal with the younger, and I can deal with the older. So I'm like at that middle to where I'm that buffer. I'm that, that in between. That is why it's my goal to bring awareness to domestic and narcissistic abuse. Because people are like, oh, domestic violence, in your mind, domestic is only physical. But what people don't understand, when he belittles you, now I'm going to say he, because even when you're in a same sex partnership, somebody plays the masculine role. So when he belittles you, that's mental. That's narcissistic abuse. When they do anything financial, that's abuse. People only look at domestic as, oh, he hit you. Why would you stay? It's deeper than he hit you. Why would he say, well, he hit me, but he controls my finances. He's already manipulated and trained my mind not to ask for things or telling me that I'm ugly, fat, or this. So now I feel insecure and uncomfortable with who I am to where I'm thinking nobody will want me. So I stay because it's a lot of factors that play into it. So I just bring awareness to domestic and narcissistic abuse, and I call it emotion. To relearn what you were taught, basically.
Um, I think sometimes we don't, um, when we have this barrier or we say this is a person that I trust, especially in marriages, you're not expecting the person that you said I do to abuse you. You're not expecting, and sometimes we see signs and we ignore them, thinking, nah,
We
not me.
ignore it out of love. We
Yes,
ignore it out of love, or we ignore it out of whatever bullshit story they manipulated us to believe, to where, oh, maybe I am the only one that's looking out for you, when it's like, no, you've always looked out for self. The signs are there. It's just one of those. I tell anybody, once that woman, and men get abused too, but men don't come forward. So, if you got any men out there, I'm not throwing shade, but the same thing for them. But it's, once you get tired and you really get tired, you start to fight back, no matter whether it's physically, mentally, or financially. You gain your self-control and you start setting those boundaries. Once you start setting those healthy boundaries for yourself, that mask starts to come off more and more every second, because they're losing control. They can't manipulate you. And even if they raise their hand to hit you and you swing back, win, lose, or draw, once you hit back, they know they're losing control.
absolutely. I remember there was a movie called The Burning Bed. When I tell you, I used to love that movie. Um, and I think I was a teen watching it. Like, that was the first time I ever saw on screen a woman being both mentally and physically abused, to the point she tried to go to her own parents and they turned on her. Like, oh no, he would never, he really cares about the kids, whatever.
And
But
see, yours was that. Mine was, what's love got to do with it?
that was another one. So these are deep conversations that we should have, instead of having those, what goes on in my house stays in my house, and then nobody gets helped.
Not even that. It's like, what goes on in your house stays in your house. And I say, me personally, even with my second marriage, I didn't disclose my abuse in my house. It took me getting kicked down some stairs and having fractured and cracked ribs and being in the hospital, and I still hid it. And I had two sisters living in the same state with me in Virginia, but I still hid it because, like, I'm the big sister. I'm supposed to be strong. That was me. But it was more so, this is my second marriage. I'm more so embarrassed. I got another failed marriage. So it's like I hid it to the point where I'm like, I can't take this no more. Then I left. When I say I left, and when I tell women it's okay to start over, I made sure my daughter's stuff was out of the apartment and my kids were in South Carolina with my parents. So it was like I took the abuse until I got my children to safety. Then I got to the point like, yeah, no, we ain't finna do this. We just gonna have to swing it out. It is what it is. How, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And when I left, I came to South Carolina. He used to have to bring me to South Carolina. So it was like he had to go out to see. He was in the Navy. And mind you, chain of command knew before you even asked me that. His chain of command was aware of what was going on because I let them know. Because the police were called to our house because I fired off some shots. So cops were called. But he was out to sea, and I came home on Greyhound from Norfolk, Virginia to Sumter, South Carolina. Is an 11.5-hour bus ride. I took that bus ride and came home because Sumter Housing Authority they were taking applications. And I told the lady to her face, I'm like, look, if I leave my husband, I will be homeless with 3 children. And my reason for saying that is I left my parents' house at 18. I'm not going back because now I have my own. So that was my parents, would let me back in, but I'm like, no, I'm a mother. That lady told me to do my application. I did my application. And anybody who's ever been on housing authority knows they do not call you. You get a letter, you respond in a timely manner, or they skip over you. For some reason, that lady called me to let me know she's mailed me 3 letters to tell me I was approved. I'm like, I didn't get any. She let my parents come in, sign my lease, and pay all of my deposits for me to come. When I left Norfolk, Virginia, I came to Sumter, South Carolina with nothing. I slept on the floor for, I say, 2 weeks off the strength of, I used to always get pulled out of the bed, and it's like you just getting snatched out of bed and boom, hit on the floor. So I slept on the floor out of fear of being dragged out of the bed for 2 weeks. My parents bought me an air mattress. I would not sleep on it. I slept on the floor. When I say me living on housing authority for 3 years was the best time of my life, I needed that. I needed that peace of mind to know I am safe, I'm secure. Let me learn my children. Let me learn myself. When I tell people it's okay to start over, it is okay to start over. And from there, for me taking control, I still didn't get help with anything mental, because I've already had PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I still didn't get help. I attempted suicide in 2010. I still didn't get help until about 2012. And by 2010, let me see, I was in college in 2009. 2010, I pledged Delta Sigma Theta sorority and Phi Beta Lambda business fraternity. So I had highlights going on in my life, but it was just like seeing my second husband, seeing him triggered me. And it's just like I went in fear, fight, flight, and I literally attempted suicide. I didn't get help for anything mentally until 2012. Literally 2012, because it just got to the point where I missed almost a semester of school, but I did let my professors know what was going on. But once I graduated college is when I was like, okay, Tika, you need to go ahead and get that's when I got my first hysterectomy for my endometriosis. That is when I started seeking treatment for fibromyalgia and mental health. 2012. Once I finished college, I went and got the proper help I needed.
So let's go into the female part. Now we know that you were raped,
and
the things that's going on inside your body. And we sometimes don't get into the female body or what's going on in the inside, or being in pain and nobody can do anything. I have people close to me who are going through those same conditions right now. So can you talk to the people about the fibromyalgia as well as the other one?
Endometriosis. Okay, endometriosis is for my fibromyalgia, it's basically nerves, like the whole body pain, everything about your entire body just aches. They basically told me my rape triggered it. So it's like I want to say the body went into a trauma response type ordeal, but it onset after my rape. My endometriosis, they believe, was always there, because I used to have painful periods growing up, but the rape basically made it more. So it was like fibromyalgia, I couldn't do anything. I just basically say for my pain, the military gave me anywhere from Demerol, Percocets. I'm talking about I was popping Vicodin and Percocets like they were candy. Military just here, pain. When the pain got too unbearable, where it was too hard, it's too painful to walk or move, I would have to go to the emergency room and I would have to get a morphine drip. And I told them, I'm like, I got a morphine drip twice. And that second one, I'm like, bro, I'm floating. I see green stuff. I'm like, that's a high I don't like. I refused morphine after that second time. But the pain is so unbearable to where it hurts to breathe. It hurts to walk. So just imagine you're having pain you can't control and no medication helps it. And all it does is make you go to sleep and your partner wants to have sex. So you have pain on top of pain throughout your body. And then having sex puts you in a whole nother trauma. Your body doesn't know whether to receive it as pleasure or pain because you're already in pain. So I had my first hysterectomy in 2012. That onset my depression again, because after I had what they didn't tell me was removing of a vital organ for females, my uterus, it does something with your hormones and, chemical imbalance and everything. I really got depressed again. I got depressed to where I think I stopped like 2.5 weeks. I stopped eating, everything, eating, getting out of bed, just anything for 2 weeks. I literally felt less of a woman in 2012 after I had my first hysterectomy, because I was more on, I can't bear children. It's like I always wanted a fourth child, but it's like I can't bear children. And my mom was like, who gonna want me? I can't have kids. It literally was like a dark space for me after I had my hysterectomy. And then I ended up having a second one because I still had pain, which I didn't know at the time until I researched it. And me and my doctor, endometriosis can spread. So if you have the onset for so long, and it can spread. So mine basically spread. So I ended up having a second one. It's called a UUAPA. I don't know how to say this. I just call it another hysterectomy. They had to go in because I had my tubes cut and burned. So they basically had to go in the second time, and they removed my fallopian tubes, cut some more, and left me a cervical stump. They cut more of the cervical stump that I had, so they cut some more of that. I'm literally left now with a left ovary and a cervical stump. And they don't want to take the left ovary because they don't want me to go into menopause.
I'm supposed to be saying something, but
But I get up every day, and I'm gonna tell you this: in between me having fibromyalgia, anxiety, PTSD, endometriosis, I would get up and go to work every day faithfully in a classroom. And when them kids want to hug me, because I did behavior, so I'm dealing with kids with behavior. I dealt with special needs, so I'm between running behind somebody, getting kicked, getting spit on, getting called a bitch, and just everything. But I got up every day with a smile in pain and went to work, because I'm like, if I don't work, my kids ain't gonna eat. My kids not gonna have a roof for their head. I gotta work through this pain. And that's one thing. I had a VA appointment, and that's one thing the doctor told me. He looked me in my face and he said, you don't look sick, but you go to work every day. How am I supposed to believe this is what's going on with you? I said, okay, got it. Then I had older World War II and Vietnam veterans tell me in my face, they're like, you're too upkept. They're looking at you're being able to work to where they're going to keep denying. And they was like, we're not saying nothing is wrong, but to them, nothing is wrong. Say less. I will go to work, and if I had a VA appointment, I would change clothes in my car, my wig on, snatching my wig off, these two cornrows that's not here. I will go in VA with my yard shoes on, my sweatpants. For if I gotta, why do I have to look apart for you to take me serious? But I just seen a Caucasian man that is well kept, but he's telling me he's 100% this, 100% no. I'm like, well, damn, what wrong with you, Billy? You look fine to me, but it's okay for you. It's not for me. Then I talk to other women veterans. We get the shitty end of the stick anyway. We're female. So it's like that we're already looked at as less than anyway. So you look at me as less than while I'm serving, then you look at me as less than when I'm out. So it's like, because women, we carry the world on our shoulders. We work through the pain. We smile through the pain. We're good with putting that mask on. And when you need that help, it's like, no, well, I'm like, well, damn all that. This mask gonna come off. With VA, I'm listed as a disgruntled veteran. Because I done cursed them out. I done wrote letters to the Congress about my lack thereof my medical care. I'm like, now it took me, I got out of the Navy in 2006, and I knew I got out with problems. Then you swept it under the rug, I'm like, dude, I was raped. Y'all clearly see in my medical record, because once we got back and I found out about, different services that I could use, avenues, I started disclosing everything. So it was not like it wasn't there. You saw it. For the whole time in the Navy is when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and endometriosis. Nobody ever told me. They just told me I had chronic pelvic pain or chronic muscle and joint pain. No, it had a whole damn name. But you need me. The needs of the military kept me there and just giving me Vicodin and Percocets. I say 2015 is when I became 100% permanent and total with VA. They literally considered me homebound. Well, I'm housebound. and they pay me for loss of a vital organ, but you will not acknowledge my military sexual trauma. You're going to pay me for the hysterectomy, but you're not going to acknowledge any of that.
And it's in your records.
It's all there because I will faithfully. I pulled all of my military before I got out. I got copies of my active duty military record. I got copies of from the Naval Hospital when I had my children, and anything after that from VA. I say like every other year from VA up until I got 100% permanent total, I got copies of my military record, and I would fine tooth comb it with a highlighter, and I would have stacks. This is a mental appointment. This is a joint muscle appointment. This is a pelvic pain appointment. I literally had it stacked. So when they say send evidence, I'm giving you your own stuff back. There's no way you can deny your stuff. But it took me from 2006 to 2015 to get anything. And I wasn't looking for 100%. I was literally looking for, please acknowledge fibromyalgia, endometriosis, and PTSD. I need those three to be acknowledged because those three, are my quality of life. Everything else that comes with it, the sinus, the allergies, the asthma, all that extra fluff, that they gave me that. But I need you to acknowledge the three that hinders me from doing what I need to do in life.
So since our first sentence in your bio was to be able to give to someone the words of encouragement and empowerment, even if you are dealt a messed up hand. We have been talking for 41 minutes, and this is all I've heard is some jacked up, messed up stuff. I said off camera, no. I said on camera, thank God we don't look like what we've been through. I wanted to hear also the conversations that you have with your daughters. Now, by generation things, right? We first said pass things on to our children, especially our demeanor, our attitudes, our all these different things. What is the conversation that you have with your daughters today?
I'll be honest with you. Each one of my daughters are me. So I have to talk to each one a different way because there are different parts of me in life. And it's like I look at my oldest daughter, she's passive aggressive. She's not going to say what's on her mind. She is shut down. So I have to talk to her with like soft gloves. She's 20, Monty, I'm sorry because you're probably watching. She's 22, she's 23. I talk to her more so with soft gloves because it takes more for me to get out of her. Like, Monty, what's wrong? Monty, what's wrong? She's going to say nothing, but that's me when I shut down and I don't know how to say it because I'm frustrated. So when I talk to her, I'm like, okay. Then, she said what she has to say, and I'm like, no. But I let all three. And my middle daughter is a version of me to where it's like, I'm going to say what I got to say. You take it, but don't correct me. Because if you correct me, then I got to turn up on you. And it's like, she's my koala bear. She looks cute and cuddly, but she will claw the hell out your eyes. My youngest, Zanaya, is me pretty much where I am. She's the definition of clatchet. She's the epitome of clatchet. Pink is her favorite color. Pink is growing on me. I have to tell her, stop fighting. Don't do this. But overall, I let them know, I don't need you to try to appease me in what you do in life. You have no children, so I need you to experience and go live life. You're not missing nothing here. And I tell them, don't come back. Like, my kids have rooms in my house. I told them I'm changing their rooms to something for me. I don't want you to come back. It's not I'm pushing you out of the nest. I need you're out. I need you to soar your wings. I need you to experience life. But now that the climate's changed, I need you to be safe. Safety first. And it's like I have to have a conversation with my kids to where it's to the point where I'm telling you, if a boy approaches you and asks for your number, please give him your number. Granted, you may not be interested, but I'm like, climate change. I don't need you to be a victim of somebody's rage because you dissed them. So I have to tell my kids, give the phone number. Two that are in college, it's okay. If you fail, let me know, because when it comes time and we need appeal letters or we need this for financial aid, if I don't know, I can't help. You got VA money. So it's best you tell me, okay, mommy, I failed. So we already know how to hit VA. Like, okay, go ahead and stop paying this much money. Don't nobody owe. And like I tell them, if it ain't for you right now, step away. But I can't let you not finish. You got to finish, but you don't have to finish right now. And I let them know, live life on your terms. Dance to your own beat. Don't worry about making me proud. I'm proud that I have 3 young ladies that graduated high school that went to college. I'm proud. So they know I'm going to call in that. Like, I stay on. Like, my older 2, I don't nag as much. I may hit them up like, hey, I need this password, or hey, how's class? Send me this. Now, my baby, I kind of stay on her because she is the youngest. And it's like, I can't let you slip through the cracks thinking my attention is over here. And I get my older 2 too. Yep. Will her ass back in. You went a little too far. Come on back. Bring it back. And it's not like I stay on her in a negative way. It's just literally she's the youngest. And she's 19. So it's like, you really girls going wild outside. So let me bring you back in. But they all know safety first. We have multiple conversations on I'm not gonna call it date rape. I'm gonna call it intimate partnership abuse. So we have those conversations. My kids know of their friends. I do not pick your friends, but I will choose your friend. Because whoever you bring and I feel as though is not right, I'm gonna voice my opinion and I'm gonna let you, do what you do, and you see whatever it is you see. And 9 times 10 it fizzles. But I let them know, oh, I don't be like, oh no, I don't be with that person. Be like, why are you explain to me why you're with them? What about them that you like? The same thing with who they date. Why? Because somebody asked me why, hell, I gotta answer why too. But it's a why, because I want you to think. Don't do it because it looks fun. Because if I can keep you from going down that path, I'm gonna keep you from going that way. If you end up there, you end up there. But I'm not gonna just let you jump off and. So I literally have every aspect of conversations with them. I've had my conversations with them. I gave all my kids my books and I told them to read my books. I actually have another book that was like I wrote in 2015. It's Suffering in Silence While Walking in the Dark. And that talks about my darkest times of my rape, life after the rape, life after getting out of the military, and life after my second marriage. I haven't published it because it was one of those, I wrote it to get it off my chest, but out of fear, like the embarrassment, all the negative stereotypes that come with telling your story. That's why I didn't put it out. But in this journey right now, I'm just going to put it out as is. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm not revising it. I'm literally just going to put it out the way it is. So it's like, that's me. And when I wrote it in 2015, and I'm going to do like a continuance to show since 2015 to where I am today.
Which is a good thing. Again, we don't understand, even though we don't want the story ourselves, we don't want these things to happen to anyone, not especially ourselves. But we, like you said, I think it was perfect that you was like, I don't want to be in survival mode. I don't want to be in a masculine. I want to be feminine. And sometimes you don't understand the things or the trauma or the extent of your trauma until years later, when you then, okay, this happened, all right, pick up yourself and keep moving. But you're not understanding that life has changed since it happened. um and now you have to figure out, I think I had talked about this before, when you've been raped, and I have more than once, and some was, you better not tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you was in a bad situation, so you better not tell, because somebody else gonna get in trouble too. There's, well, I didn't expect you to, I thought we was better than that. But however, you start moving differently, even though your mind is saying, okay, something bad happened to you. And suffering in silence is the worst.
It is. Like I said, like with my third marriage, like I'm separated. Like I'm legally well, we're separated. But I say even with my third marriage, I really won't talk about that one, but I'm just like, even with that, in my acceptance phase that I'm in, I accept the role that I played in not being in my marriage anymore. Um, I honestly I didn't allow him to put me on the pedestal of being a queen because I was so in survival mode and in masculine mode, in my masculine energy. I kept it to where I had to have some type of financial independence because my second marriage, I financially depended on him because he was like, "Oh, I don't want you to go to school. Oh, I don't want you to work. I want you to stay at home." And like, like a duck. Oh, okay, let me make my second marriage work because I don't want it to mess up like the first one. I did it, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, now I see what the hell you did. Now I need you. You need, you know what I mean? And once I left that marriage, I'm like, nah, I ain't needing nobody for nothing. If I want my hair done, I'm gonna get it done. And it's like in my third marriage, he really wanted to basically cater to me. You want your nails and you want your toes and you want this. Let me buy this, let me buy that. I honestly didn't know how to receive it. So it was like I would always push it away, like, oh no, I'm no, it's always a no. So I know that played a role in it when it came to him being, masculine and and that energy of him to where it's like, damn, I got somebody who don't want this, that, and the third. I acknowledge that, you know what I mean? I accept that. But other things took place to where nah, I'm good. I'm real good. And where I am now, I haven't given up on love. I haven't given up on dating. You know what I mean? It's like I actually have someone in my life to where he makes it okay for me to be feminine. It's like he has all that masculine energy over there to where I can step out of survival mode. I can step out of that masculine energy. I can be a soft girl. I can be a girl. I can be, like I tell you, I'm a real girl. I can be all of a female. I can be all woman to where I can just breathe. I'm not on eggshells. And it's like, and then it's also helping with the healing. Because it's like if I still do something to where it was like I know it's in a negative light, or mentally is not negative to me because my mind was trained to move or think a certain way. Oh, he gonna redirect it like, no, da 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 da, or why do da 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 da. It gets redirected, so it doesn't bother me. It actually helps me because that's one of the things with me doing behavior. You have to redirect negative, your negative behavior and your negative energy. So I also get redirected. And when I say it helps, it helps.
Absolutely. I know for I think this phase or season is having real accountable people in your life.
Yes.
Um
And that's what people don't understand is they look at, oh, you're dating. No, you can have people in your life that have places to help you heal, whether it's male or female. And I say when you're in a whole healing phase, you need both sex because how I may look at something or perceive something, and I tell it to one of my homeboys, I'm like, yo, da 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 da. I'm like, no, he was doing this because of this, but you did that, so this is what happened, or this is why didn't you do that? You get the other outlook of things. And even when my homegirl like Trail would be like, well, Tika, you think about this? Did you look at that? Like we playing Scooby-Doo and shit, like we discovering a mystery. But it's like it's helping me on my journey to where I can be as transparent about what happened at any stage of my life. And those that are close to me, they listen to me. Hell, we cry together. So, it's like in your season, you need that people. And I tell people who know me, like, I get people in my inbox about domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, rape. I don't know them. It's just because I'm more open about it, I don't judge. Because how could I judge you when I probably sat over here longer in this situation than you did? You're probably 2 weeks ready to go. I sat a year. I sat years. So it's like I can't judge you. All I can do is help guide you. And once I get you through, I can just help you enhance your life to where you're living a fulfilled life. because I can't, you know what I mean? Like anybody around me knows I can't let you sit in that space. Nobody, I had to pull myself out of that space because I didn't talk about it. So I didn't get the help. I had to pull myself out. Now I pulled myself out. I'm going to make sure nobody else around me at all costs sits there. I'm going to have to pull you out. I got to bring you to the light.
Absolutely. I say this all the time. It's not easy being a trailblazer. We didn't, I didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for this, but somebody got to do it. And the lessons we learned, it was painful, but I'm going to tell you, so you don't hit your head, so you don't have to
Yeah.
live darkness for a long time, also suicidal, also just making bad choices, just doing different things, because at the end of the day, I'm seeking something that nobody could ever give back to me because it was already taken. So it's like you're still trying to relive a pain after, for some, the drugs or alcohol or multiple sexual partners or whatever the case may be, just to feel like you a woman again. Or I so funny. I remember this particular person had raped me, and then I tried to date someone that looked similar like him, to treat him bad because this person did something.
Yeah. That's one thing I will honestly say. Through anything I've been through, I never look for, because I take time to heal. You know what I mean? Like even if I don't go through the whole process, I take some time to get through that revenge and that depressed phase. But when I move on to the next person, I don't seek the same out of the last. I always look for something the total opposite. 'Cause I'm like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people say you go for what's known because it's comfortable. I've always went for the unknown because it makes me uncomfortable. Make me learn something new. Make me learn something different about myself. So I've always been more on that end of the spectrum, to where it's like I don't want anything familiar. But once the shit start moving like it's familiar, oh, I got to get the hell on through.
Yes, you
I
out.
got it. See, you move like something I know. You move over here that's in the red, or you say something like that. I got to get the hell on through. Shit, it'd be nice. I holler. I got to move. Because if I, you know what I mean? I feel as though mentally, if I wanted that same, I would, one, stay, or two, get someone that has those same characteristics that I already see up front. If I come over here and it's not the same, I want different.
Absolutely. I'm just glad that a person like yourself is willing and able to speak about the things that some people have been forced to keep quiet. Some people, unfortunately, have taken these type of things to the grave
Yeah.
and never said anything, which we know, suffering in silence will probably be the fastest killer than anything that someone wants to actually talk about.
It really is, because you walk around with a chip on your shoulder and you mad at the world, and the world didn't do nothing to you. And it's more so, I say for myself, when I suffered in silence, it was more so I couldn't forgive myself. I can forgive anything and everybody around me, but it's like when you look in that mirror and you have to forgive yourself. And when I tell people you have to forgive yourself, is because the first thing you think of when you've been raped or victimized is, what did I do? What did I say? What did I wear? What could I have done differently? It's always the I. When it's like, nah, it's, you're really fucked up. I didn't respond how I should have really responded, because I should have turned the hell up on your ass, or I should have did that, versus what did I do? And it's always the I in the negative. So when you got to look yourself in the mirror and forgive yourself and tell yourself it wasn't your fault, that is where we get stuck. And that's when we shut down and we just start suffering in silence, because we can't face ourselves.
That is so true. Because I think I went for a while without looking in the mirror, period.
Exactly.
Because
Now you can't keep me out of the mirror. I think I got 3 full body mirrors. Like,
yeah,
you can't keep me out of a mirror.
that control is something else. Like, and then you think like you've been a strong person all along. How did that happen? Like, how did you allow that to
And
happen?
look, I had someone say that to me. They were like, "You're this way," because they know I'm like, I go from 0 to 1,000, but it's like, "You're this way. How did you get into domestic violence?" Like, my thing is, I take my vows serious, so it's for better or for worse. So I tell people a lot of times, I give people a disclaimer: I'm not wrapped too tight, and I got a lot of shit with me. How you take that and how you unbag that is up to you. But when I'm in my marriage, and I say marriage is, I do try to be submissive. You know what I mean? Like I wholeheartedly, like a lot of people will tell you, I don't listen and I don't shut up because, and I literally had to sit and, ask myself, well, my therapist asked me that question, why don't you? And I had to tell her, I'm like, I wanted who I wanted. You know what I mean? Like I wanted your companionship. I wanted your company. I wanted you. I didn't need you. I wanted you. And I'm like, what people don't understand, and I say for women, we need to understand a want and a need. I didn't need. Because I tell, I'm crushing ego. I don't need you. Because I feel as though in my heart of heart and until now, I realized I wasn't very submissive because deep down, I felt as though you weren't leading me correctly. So if you're not leading me right, I'm not going to shut up and I'm not going to listen. I'm not just going to be no yes girl. I'm going to do what the hell that shit sounds stupid. So I'm going to go do this over here to secure what I got going on. But I can tell you, when you meet a person, and I say a person because, some women after trauma go LGBTQ, some, stay hetero. So it's like when you meet that person and your soul connects to where their voice or their touch soothes you and adds comfort to you, you're going to shut the hell up and you're going to listen. And it's not by force. It's just going to be a natural feeling. And, when it comes naturally, it's genuine. I just ain't, in the past, I just didn't listen because in my heart, I didn't feel as though you were leading right. Like no shade to, no one, but it's just within me. I'm an alpha female. I've been raising my 3 daughters on my own. I barely got, child support. My family is my village. So it's like I took on mom role. I took on dad role. I was the buffer. Financially, I took that burden. I took it on. They never went without. My youngest daughter wanted to do cheer, track, basketball, dance. I don't give a damn. She wanted to do it wherever the money came from, whatever bill I had to juggle, she did it. My middle daughter did, music, made it happen. My oldest daughter wanted to be a chef. I put her in culinary arts school, driving from Florence to Sumter, making sure she fulfilled her dream, getting all these books. Whatever it is they wanted to do, I found a way to make it happen. So when I say I was in my masculine energy, it's like, can't nobody come in my house and tell me nothing when I'm juggling bills, school, work, kids, and activity. If you're not coming to lighten my load, why are you here? And that's literally, it's like that's a boundary I set for myself now. It's like, if you're not coming in my life to lighten my load, I don't need you to come in my house and say, oh, you paying all my bills. No, but you can say, okay, let me do the, or here go this for this. If you're not coming to lighten the load, don't bother me. Leave me where I'm at.
So what would have been the conversation if your daughters wanted to go to the military?
In all actuality, my kids knew out of high school it was military or college. Those were the only 2 options. There was no, I'm gonna take a year off or I'm gonna go work. Nah, it's you're going to the military or you're going to college. Everyone chose college. No one wanted the military. And even when my oldest, and it's so funny, even when my oldest failed a class, I like, oh, let's go. Going to the recruiter. Take this walk. And I made her, I'm like, it's not like I joke about it, but it's like, let me show you how serious I am, because I didn't want my kids personally, like to this day, my kids know I don't want you to fall stagnant. I don't want you to get beat up by society or get swallowed in to the black hole where you're not going to come out and all you're going to see is you're going to work in check to check. Yeah, everybody be like, oh, college this, college this. But my reason for my kids going to college is, if I'm 100% permanent and total, you get tuition free in universities in South Carolina and you get a check, To go to school for 3.5 years, I'm gonna need you to ride that clock for 3.5 years. I'm gonna need you to collect Uncle Sam's money. What you do with that, whether you see that 4 years through or you just go for your money, I need you to get free money. But while you're there, you're gonna meet people to where you learn how to network. You're gonna learn how to code switch, and you're going to learn something. Whether you use it later in life, everything circles back.
That is so true.
Everything circles back.
What was something else I wanted to talk about? Nah, I forgot. Um, this has definitely been awesome conversation. Especially when it comes to dealing with drama, trauma, pain, whatever. Unfortunately, a lot of our lessons, a lot of the afterglow
Yes,
um,
it's the afterglow, exactly. Because when
is
you going through it, you're stressed. You look like, bruh, your weight
like,
fluctuates, your hair comes in and goes, and your
yes,
skin just You're
yes.
ugly. You're ugly when you're going through it.
I just looked at another video the other day, and when I was going through, I looked like death. I was
Whew,
probably
I looked at mine, I'm like, bruh, because I had a
like,
video. In my one video, I said, you thought you broke me, but you built me and made me stronger. Get you a me. I can't be fucked with. I'm unfuckwittable. When I watched that video, when I first said, I heard so much hurt and pain in my voice.
mhm.
And I looked at my face and I'm like, when I tell now I'm unfuckwittable, nah, bruh, you see this glow up. It's different. It's like, yeah, I'm really, then I said it because it was like hurtful, but that's like in my heart, that's how I felt, but I didn't show. I couldn't show how I felt. Now, when I say I'm unfuckwittable, get you a me, bruh, I can't be fucked with. Because it's one of me. You're not telling anybody. I'm like, no matter what it is you do, be great at what you do. Be the best at what you do. Because when you walk away, you're gonna leave a lasting impression to where they're gonna try to build you. I'm like, you're gonna try to build a bitch. You can't build me. It's gonna take 50 of them to make one of me. And I tell anybody, always put your best foot forward no matter what you do. Because when it's said and done and you picked up those pieces and you adjusted your crown and you're walking in your purpose, they gonna realize how they fumble. You know what I mean? Like everybody think it's fumbling money. No, you fumbled me as a person. You fumbled my friendship. I don't care nothing about a relationship. I can't be your friend. I can be cordial with you. I can be cool with you, but I know how to handle you, and I'm gonna handle you as such.
Absolutely. Um, the last thing of rediscovering her, the brand itself.
Oh, it's rediscover her. Girl, we rediscover. We ain't rediscovering, it's rediscover her. Her is healed, empowered, and reinvented. That is Let's Rediscover Her Incorporated is my nonprofit. We're going to target on narcissistic and domestic violence, life enhancement. That's going to be an outlet to where I offer coaching for free. Anything that I can teach and educate to help women structure their business, to get them to be successful and to walk in their purpose and their glow. You have Rediscover Her Facial Bar. I'm a licensed esthetician and my first love is skincare. So I'm going back into a spa. It's just going to be a facial bar. You have Rediscover Her Cosmetics. We have turmeric and kojic acid products. We're coming out with some rice water hair products. We have our men skincare line. And you have just Rediscover Her because I'm on the verge of launching my journey journal. So it's going to be like almost 200 pages, and it's a journey journal to help you rediscover the her in you that you lost.
Mm.
So what I did was I took all of my businesses that I created from a dark space as a safe haven to pour into. And as I'm on my journey of rediscovering who I am as a woman, Rediscover is just a brand. My goal, my purpose, and my soul is going to be put into helping other women rediscover the her in them that they lost.
Absolutely. And even on a tip for that, um, people, even in the journey, they have to understand and give themselves grace, give themselves time to heal. Um, and they will find out that in that time of healing, you don't have to settle for nothing.
No,
You
you can't even settle with yourself because I used to always soft glove myself to where it's like I know I want to do this, but I'd be like, oh, I gotta pay this bill or this not in the budget. It's it's this. And I'm like, if I can invest so much time, money, and energy into the next person, why can't I do it to myself? And I'm literally at the point where I'm like, I go broke to invest in me to be a better me because I'm the best asset out there. I can't be a personal liability to myself and an asset to the next. So like now it's time for me to be my own valuable asset. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's just where I'm at with it. Like if I go broke, it's gonna be going broke on me. It's gonna be going broke on my terms. It's gonna be going broke because I know I can make that back.
absolutely.
And the journey, your journey is not my journey. So how I look on my journey is not how you're gonna look on your journey. And where you are, it's like it's no start. Start where you are. Start where you're at. You may be still in that vengeance phase. Start there. You may be in the depressed stage. Start wherever you are to get on your journey. It only gets better. And you have to allow yourself the space to experience every emotion that's gonna come with it. Because this is it's a bumpy road. Because I'm
Absolutely.
like, I'm in acceptance, and I'm like, when I say I don't like it here, I don't like it here. But I have, it's like it's like you sitting with, I accept my role, I accept your role, I accept this trauma, I accept this pain and hurt. But how can I grow? How can I learn from it? It's just that acceptance. It's like I cry, mad, and it's like shit. Emotions are just everywhere, but it's like it's not targeted at anyone. It's just you get mad about rethinking or reliving something. But once you get through it, and I know if you know me personally, I'm getting through it.
Absolutely.
It can
Absolutely.
be done.
Like I said, just giving yourselves patience,
Mm-hmm.
being accountable to actually speak it out. Sometimes it's better just to hear it come out of your mouth and to your own ears of you
Yes.
saying, um, these things hurt me. What you do hurt
And
me.
I say even with hearing it, because when I sit and talk and I hear what I've been through, I'm like, damn, I'm like, damn, like damn. So I tell anybody, while you're on the journey and you don't have anyone you wish to confide in, record yourself.
Mm,
Just talk out loud and record yourself. And then when you're in a better space on the journey, go back and listen to it.
listen.
You're gonna really be like, damn, like you're gonna be
Yeah.
wow. It's a wow. Cause I listen to myself and I'm like, wow.
I think I never actually recorded like me talking, but there's songs that I wrote.
Yeah. See,
There
that's fair. Yeah, that's very fair. I write in my journal. I write different poetry or I just write in my journal. So like if something comes in my mind or I'm feeling some way and I don't want to talk, or it's like I feel like my mind is everywhere, I just write whatever comes, like deep in thought. I just write what is there. And then even if it's a small paragraph, I got some of it out and then it like unclutters my mind to where I can pick something to focus on, declutter, and evaluate.
yes. Even in um the healthy part of you, refocusing and rediscovering you as like kids.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I didn't know I had hands. What are these for?
exactly.
I like these. And so you begin to find out there's more to you.
It way more. And I
Way.
say, and that's why I did the rediscover her brand, is because as women, we lose ourselves in our career, our children, our family, our significant other outside of trauma. But we lose ourselves. So like sometimes it's time for, mom, wife, sister, you gotta take that step back and you gotta rediscover you. You gotta figure out what it is about you that you like. Not so much as how you maneuver your life, is what do you like?
Absolute, absolutely. And again, you tap into something, go back to your dreams, go back to,
Exactly.
if it's losing weight, if it's like I go ballroom dancing. I go swimming. I'm on stages now. Like, no is not a thing. It's okay. So we're gonna. Oh, so you're doing this now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. So, and I'm still in the place that I'm open to even learn more about myself.
Yeah.
Um, and these conversations help you bring out more of your own self, even though you're still in the healing process. Again, you have your accountability partners, you have your village, you have the arts, whatever you do, to also pour into and get feedback on to continue to grow. What does a balanced life look like for you?
Right now, my balanced life is I don't do nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. I repainted my entire house. So like if you came in my house now from what it was to now, it's all on you see my wall behind me. So it's like this room is like that little gold color and green. So it gives you like that whole earthy. I'm more earthy green. It's more greenery. I get up in the morning, tend to my dog, take my shower, check emails, respond, go to Walmart. Like Trail gets on me because I go to Walmart all the time. She's like, that's my boyfriend. Walmart is my boyfriend. But it's like when I say I'm at peace to where I move at my own pace. I'm an empty nester. So it's like this year alone, one, being separated in marriage. Two, all of my kids are gone. So it's like in the past, when I got out, like out of a marriage or whatever, I always had my kids at home. Like he wouldn't be there, but I always had my kids. So someone was always home. This year was he's gone and my kids gone. I had to adjust to being home alone. Like I don't know this feeling. So that already bothered me the beginning of the year because I'm like, I wasn't ready. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be an empty nester. I'm an empty nester. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really a complete empty nester. So that took some adjusting. But once I got the hang of it, when they come home, I'm like, why you here? How long you gotta be here? When you leaving? Balance for me is just basically I can now say I enjoy relaxing where I never knew how to relax. So we're just sitting on my counter playing my game or laying on my couch or just not having anything to do. I literally cleaned my house out of things that I once needed that I don't need to where when I get up in the morning, I don't have anything to clean. It's literally me wiping counters down and like fake mopping. Like, oh, I don't have anything out of order. To me, this is very balanced and at peace for me. I can really sit still and sit with myself and continue on my journey.
And that is good. Again, I have truly enjoyed this journey, this conversation. I'm hoping that everyone got something, um, some of the tips, some of, just looking at your own self in your own life, to say that it's not over. It's not over. We're still growing. We're still moving. We're still inch by inch, day by day, every breath that you take is still important. And you're your own boss. So, again, I had no idea, like I never do, how this conversation was going to go. This was, again, a great conversation. Like I stated earlier, I have some of the dopest guests that come on. And I find that every guest that I've had on here, almost 300 guests, I find myself in that person. I find myself in their story as well as the beginning, the middle, the overcoming of all things, and still they're shining to this day. So again, I want to say, Black woman to Black woman, I'm proud of you. Keep moving because again, a person like myself and others, they're watching. They're wanting to know how to overcome themselves, overcome life and the things that they give. Because again, life happens. We didn't plan it that way, but however, whatever pivot was given, it was on purpose for us to be a better version of ourselves. I do have some church announcements before I let you go. And yes, I did say church.
I know you did.
So last October, I was able to published my first single book, which is
Yay.
Blueprint God's Design. Basically, God was like, "You're getting off course. I need you to reel yourself back in, and it's okay to start over." So
Yeah.
again, we talked about that tonight, about starting over, and lightening your load. Because I was one of them people who want to try to help everybody, but I was drowning. I was overwhelmed of trying to help everybody else, and I couldn't help myself. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to um, lighten the load and start over, and we're still moving. So that is the Amazon link. You can put in the title or the link or my actual name, and it will come up. If you want to continue to see this wonderful platform, the goal is to get to TV land. You can give and donate to the Cash App, which is Sunshine Camila, Kamilah. This conversation again was sponsored by Blacktop Streetball Association. I spoke to Main Event earlier. He was on here. I don't know if he still is, but again, their website, btsba.com. If you remember N1, now the culture is in our hands, and we're about to take it to another level with them being owners. So again, please support them. And every business that I speak of tonight is Black owned, both male and female. So please support my sister, Alita Cotton. She is on Facebook at AYECEE. She does some of the best turmeric and ginger teas ever.
Mm.
Never been on drugs, but I think I am addicted to her teas. Her business, ACTs, 313-380-0321. Again, please go and support her. I am a living proof that that combination that she does,
Mm-hmm.
I have not been sick. It did something wonderful for my immune system. Anytime I feel anything, I am definitely, I need you to drop this off, or can we meet? I need it. Um, Again, Waffle Cafe Detroit, Larry Boog Phillips, part owner of this wonderful waffle cafe, and the food is delicious. I still need to get over there on Sundays for brunch because they got shrimp and grits. Mm-mm-mm. I'm just saying. Um, their address is 18685 Livernois on the west side of Detroit, 313-739-6308. As you can see what their hours are. And again, they just opened on Sundays last week, and it's
Mm.
already a smash. So again, now they're open 7 days a week. And of course, if they're doing 7 days a week, that means they're doing good. Amen. That same person, Boog, has a vent space as well. 23120 Coolidge Highway in Oak Park, 313-469-2943. If you want to do birthday parties, baby showers, all those wonderful things, give him a call. Alpha and Omega Naturals, getting my hair to my natural curls. It was longer, but I cut my hair. Don't ask me about it. Anyway, my mom's haircut completely fell out. And within 6 weeks, my mom's hair is almost completely filled in. Again, alpha and omega naturals.com. Last but not least, your girl, this one right here, will be in our stage play. Sweetest Day weekend. He's fine, but is he saved? Saturday and Sunday, October 21st and 22nd, 7 p.m. here at Henry Ford Civic Center. Tickets, general admission is $45. VIP is $65 now. Again, you get great seating, light refreshments, and you get to have meet and greet with the entire staff. That again is Brother Man from the fifth floor from Martin, Joel Tankard, and Dathan Thigpen. Those are your church announcements. Govern yourself accordingly. Miss Lateka,
Yes.
do you have any last words for our people today?
No matter what you do in life, always smile and never lose heart. Continue your journey.
Great. Absolutely. So I will be back here every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another guest. And we're going to see what they have to talk about. Again, as I state, we are more alike than we are different. You will never know that until we actually have our conversation. I'm not interviewing anyone. We're having conversations. Again, I
Mhm.
believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're literally one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny, proven over and over again since I started. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Let somebody know that we are here and we on a journey. Again, I will see you back on Tuesday of next week. Peace.
Mhm.